How's it going, everyone? Hopefully this video I've got for you today is going to be really helpful. It's something that I've trialed and tested loads over the years, and we finally got something we absolutely love. So let's dive in. Okay, Sony picture profiles. This has got to be one of the hottest phrases around Sony cameras. Everyone's always talking about creative styles and picture profiles. Which picture profile should I use? How do I grade my footage? What LUTs do I use? It's something we've gone back and forth on quite a lot, but we finally got something thanks to some help of some friends and some LUTs that we love. We've got a color and we've got a look and we've got a picture profile that we love. However, before going into a new wedding season and coming up to new film projects, I wanted to make sure we were definitely on the money and I was loving what we were getting out of the camera. So what I did yesterday was a little test. I got my beautiful wife to stand there for me while I just called out picture profiles and cycled through. And really, this is just for my own ridiculous nerdy brain, just a side-by-side comparison the just a side-by-side comparison the picture profiles, see which I'm liking the look of. And it was really insightful, actually. What I did learn is that the picture profile we're using that we have customized is perfect for us. However, I can see some applications for some of the other ones. Obviously, this is something that's super subjective, so I'd love to hear what you guys think down below. If there's a profile that you like more than the others, I've obviously got the winner in my opinion that I love, but yeah, I'd certainly like to see what you think. And obviously, one thing that has a big impact on this is how you grade and whether you want things right out the camera or whether you want things quite flat and to be able to do a little bit of work in post. So let's dive in and take a look at what we got. Okay, so I've made a short video clip here with some titles to show you guys which style we are currently on. So first up, there is no grade on any of this, by the way. This is straight out of camera. We have the creative style standard first. Now, I'll just play this for a sec. This is something that actually we used to use pretty much all the time. The colors are great out of camera. It looks really nice. The skin tone's good. All those colors are very representative of what the room actually looks like, albeit maybe a tiny bit oversaturated, like the oranges in the shelves just on the right-hand side. They really aren't quite that orange. And the greens look a bit vibrant as well, but still, this is a great color out of camera, creative style, standard. So next up is creative style with -1 contrast and -1 saturation. I prefer this quite a lot already. It looks just a little bit more natural. It looks like there's some more details in the shadows. I mean, it's probably not picking up any more detail. It's still the same creative style, but just that little bit less contrast. That looks a little more correct to me. It was quite light in the room at the time we were shooting this. All of a sudden, the shelves, the orangeness in the shelves has kind of gone and it looks a lot more natural like it does. The greens look right. I really like this. This is how, if I just wanted to shoot out of camera and just do a project and just knock it out, no messing around grading, this is what I would go for, 100%. Next is neutral. Neutral is okay. If I compare this, if I click back to the creative style standard, -1 contrast, -1 saturation, and then neutral, it's kind of similar. It's just got no vibrance at all. For me, I just don't have a use for this. It's okay, it's a bit flat, it's a bit not flat. It's just, if you're gonna shoot, you want to get it right out of camera or you want it a little bit flat so you can work with it in post. For me, this and the next one, which I'll play on to, which is neutral -1 saturation -1 contrast, these two are fairly useless as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, guys, this is all just my opinion. But yeah, this is just an in-between for me. So next up, what I did is I cycled through the picture profiles. Now, I only went to picture profile 6 because we don't shoot in S-Log or anything like that or use HLG. For the kind of work we do, it's too much work. It's too much color grading. I just think you can get it just as good with a nice flat picture profile. Next up, picture profile 1. This surprised me actually. I thought all the picture profiles were going to be reasonably flat, but actually this is really pretty much on par with standard. See, I'm just flicking back and forth there. It's slightly flatter. The skin actually does look a lot softer. I think that's just a highlight roll off though. The saturation is pretty even though. I reckon if you bump the highlights up on this, it's going to be pretty close to that standard profile. Okay, moving on. PP2. Again, I was still surprised. I thought a lot of the picture profiles were just going to be pretty flat. And by the way, guys, when you go on a picture profile, if you cycle down to the bottom of the menu, hit reset, it resets it to what the original profile was. And obviously that's what I've done here to make sure they're all correct. Picture profile 3, this is crazy flat. Compared to picture profile 2, let's flick back. Picture profile 2, picture profile 3. Yeah, this is wild. This isn't bad, to be honest. I actually quite like this. It's flat, there's tons of detail. The only thing I would say is it's a fraction noisy on the wall, like between the clock and Megan's head. I'm definitely seeing a little bit of grain there, but that's kind of to be expected with the shadows being quite as high as they are. Picture profile 4. This is just wacky. I do not like this at all. The skin tone for me is just awful. Yeah, this is shocking. Next. Picture profile 5. This is the kind of profile I don't tend to go for. It's very flat, very unsaturated. I see people work magic with profiles like this when it's a really nice flat shot, but for me, I just don't have it. I just can't seem to make him work the way I want him to. I need it a little bit closer to begin with, but you know, this looks flat. I'm sure it's useful. And picture profile 6, really not much different. I can't even see the difference. I'm starting to question whether I just copy and pasted the clip by accident. But I didn't. There's definitely different clip numbers here. Okay, so picture profile 6 is, according to my eyes, much the same as 5. Okay, now the last two I have here are custom picture profiles. So let's skip ahead to this one first. So if you're into Sony color stuff at all, you'll probably have come across Cine 4 and Cinema as the color mode. And this is without a doubt the most popular. I'm sure everybody uses this. Well, I say everybody, you know, everywhere you look online, people are using Cine 4 and Cinema Color. All the LUT packs out there are like using Cine 4 and Cinema Color. It's okay. I struggle with the skin tone on this one actually. I find it comes out a little bit towards a yellowy, greeny tint. Obviously that could be corrected. I just don't know why I would spend time correcting it. So the final one is this, which is Cine 2 and the color mode as Pro. For me, this is it. I absolutely love this profile. As you can see, it's pretty flat, like really probably as flat as the sort of ones where we were looking at 5 and 6 here. It's flat, but can you see if I flick between picture profile 6 and then the Cine 2 and Pro Color, there's just a bit more saturation, there's a bit more life to it. And for me, the skin tone here in Cine 2 is so good. Even with LUTs on or any sort of color grading, it just takes it like a champ. Let's skip ahead here. So what I've done is I'll leave this up for a sec so you guys can just see. This is everything side by side, all the picture profiles. Just have a look. I'd love to know in the comments what's out of those frames there. Like, what would you pick? What is your go-to? How do you like shooting? Do you just want to get it right out of camera? Do you like the flat profile? For me, it's that Cine 2 and Pro Color all day. If I had to just get a project done fast or I just didn't want to mess around color grading, I would shoot standard with -1 contrast and -1 saturation because I think that looks pretty cool and the colors are there. Certainly it's up for manipulation and a bit of grading, but it still looks good. And I'll just skip ahead a little bit. So we have a color grade that I've built up over time that we really like, and this is it. Obviously, some of these picture profiles are flatter and some are much richer in saturation and contrast, so it's gonna be very different. I'm sure for some people out there this has been the most boring, nerdy video ever, but I'm sure there's some people out there like me who are super weird and do stuff like this and test out all their profiles because you just want to produce the best you can. Anyway, I hope that helps, guys. We're going to be recording and uploading as much content as we can from now on, so we'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe and comment and like and all that stuff below. Everything you do, liking, subscribing, commenting, all of that helps the YouTube algorithm and gets people seeing our videos. Megan will be back next time. Obviously, if I'd done this with her, I probably would have put her to sleep with all this boring stuff. She just likes picking up the camera and going. So we have a few more fun videos in store. Yeah, it's going to be great. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I really hope this has helped, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.